Hello and welcome to our 2022 Cancer New Moon Community Ceremony. I am Judy Keating, and I get to work with Bonnie Salomon at Wise Transformation, where we are always opening to soul alignment. And at Wise Transformation, we are two women intent on bringing elemental wisdom and feminine magic back into everyday life. So today, I'm going to talk to you about a couple of upcoming events, and there's more coming, but just a couple of things that I want you to be aware of. We're going to call in sacred space. We're going to talk about the timing. We're going to use the Elemental Forces of Creation Oracle created by Lisa Michaels to get ceremonial guidance about how to nurture ourselves in this Cancer New Moon and Cancer Sun. And I'm going to do a CCT energy session. So the time today will be approximately 75 minutes. It might be a little longer depending on if we need to wait for the energy to shift in the session. So we're just going to go ahead and dive in and get started. So I have a new class coming. The date's been changed to begin July 24th. About CCT and becoming a foundational or what's called basic professional in utilizing crystalline consciousness technique so that you can do sessions for yourself, you can do sessions for your family, and you can do sessions as a professional. This class is the first class that you take to be able to use crystalline consciousness technique in the world as a professional. And if you want more information, the full details of that are at wisetransformation.com. The other thing that I want to call to your attention is tomorrow. Richard Broad and Rosie Aronson are doing an official beginning of the Dream Arc course through the Gene Keys organization. This course has been profound for me, and I've been working on it for about 30 days, but they're going to do a free YouTube event. And if you want to know all the details of that, you can go to genekeys.com/events/. And if you decide that you want to do the course, the paid course, there's a link here, and I'll be putting it out in the email tomorrow, that you can sign up for the class. The class is $300, and I am an affiliate for the program. And the reason I want to make that clear is I try to use monies that I get as an affiliate towards people that maybe can't afford the course. But there's some really great information out about this particular exploration of the dream arc. Richard Rudd is a poet, a mystic, an author, and an enlightened one who just shares from his heart about the web of life. And Rosie Aronson is a creative artist, phenomenal, just beautiful co-creatrix of the web that we're going to use. This course you go through at your own pace. Richard would tell you it's going to take him a year to do it, but I'm going to be offering a free support circle. I'm going to be doing the course, and I'm inviting anyone who's doing the course, if they want, to be part of a support circle that'll begin on August 18th. And we'll be putting out specific information about that support circle very soon, but it's going to be free. So you only have to buy the course to attend. And basically, we're going to share what we get from stepping back into nature, stepping back into a co-creative role with our fellow beings on the planet. And we're going to take a journey of weaving a web of oneness, which right now we need desperately. So I just wanted to tell you that tomorrow, June 28th at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the US, or 1900 UTC if you need to look it up if you're in another country. He's going to be on YouTube live, and we'll be talking to you about the course, but we'll also do an active initiation of the course, and we'll be sharing together as a community ways that we feel this is going to improve and move us forward. So I wanted to be sure to tell you about it. So those are my upcoming events. So we're going to open to the living field of creation and center ourselves. And I just want to imagine that in your solar plexus, which is the chakra right below your heart, but above your belly button, just imagine you're pulling all of your attention in through that chakra. You're activating that self-love, nurturing center, your solar power, your personal power. You're just coating it with love right now as we open sacred space. And we call upon the earth to be a sacred container for all that needs to move, shift, transform, and become in this Cancer new moon. We ask that the power of water, the power of all of our feeling guidance at this time, be available to us. This is a new moon and sun that is in a water sign of Cancer. And we just invite each person's wise feeling guidance into the circle. And we call upon the power of air, the ability to breathe, that which holds all together in the unseen realm. The air, the ability to imagine and vision a better world. We call on those faculties, we call on those air teachings, the air reverence, the air meditation and prayer at this time of great change. And we invite fire, the power to move, the power of action, the power to transform anything. We bring this light to our circle so that we can get illumination on the inner about what we need to transform to help the planet shift, to become who we need to become, to be a part of the change that we want to see in the world. We just ask that fire give us both illumination and inspiration. And finally, spirit, precious, precious source, that which is as above, so below, as within, so without. That binding force of all creation. We ask that spirit be with each one of our attendees, whether they're here live or on the recording. And with this connection to the elemental forces and this centering in the living field of creation, we begin. So when we have a new moon, the sun and the moon are aligned in the same archetype. It can give us a boost of energy around that particular archetype, and it could be a great time to initiate something new, to start a growing phase. So Cancer, because the sun and the moon are both in Cancer, teaches the meaning of nurturing. So that's going to be the center today. We really want to focus on how to nurture ourselves, because in these difficult times, we need to fill our own cup. We need to love on ourselves even more. Cancer is a devoted caregiver to family, friends, and projects. Cancer really needs to remember to care for herself. It loves home and comfort in all aspects of life. Cancer connects to those around like the loyal and caring mother or father. It's sympathetic to the vulnerability of others, and it creates safe emotional space for what is tender, young, and growing, like a caring parent. And there's no better time than this Cancer new moon than to be open and caring about your fellow human beings, about all the people who are very scared right now, and allow for everyone to have their voice. Invite everyone to round table consciousness, so that it's not against each other. It's coming to a place of understanding, coming to a place of unity. So because we are in this Cancer loving energy, when you're thinking about what you want to focus on for this new moon in Cancer, what would love focus on at this time in your life? If love were in charge, what would love focus on at this time for you? So you can ponder that, or you can journal with that as we consider setting our intentions for the new moon. Just going to play a little music in the background while we do that. So you can let me know either in the chat or by unmuting when you are set. Just pause this. Okay, so hopefully if you're on the recording and you need more time, just hit pause. But be sure to think about what would love focus on at this time as your inquiry around setting your intentions. So we receive elemental guidance from the Elemental Forces of Creation Oracle deck by Lisa Michaels. This has been a long-standing practice in this call. So if you have your own deck, I always invite you to pull your own cards. I pulled cards for the collective, meaning one of each element, to give you some guidance if you need it. But let me go ahead and put these forward. So I pulled the nature card in the earth set of the cards from the deck, so that I pulled nature for the collective. And what tending does your body and home need at this time? What tending does your body and home need at this time? That's a good inquiry for Cancer, new moon. Right up Cancer's alley. And just let me know when you're done. So Zandria very kindly shared that my body needs to be acknowledged of its important role in my life, vessel and vehicle for the soul. Beautifully said, Zandria. Mia, if it's easier for you, if you want to unmute, you can share what you're getting and you don't have to. Okay. We're going to go ahead.
I'm getting that we are in a season where we shouldn't be afraid of women's bodies, to look at women's bodies, because we were naked when we came out of the womb, and fear of I'm not talking pornographic images, but regular nudity in a normal setting shouldn't be feared, but should be revered.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. So we're going to move on to water. And I pulled the holding space card in the water section of the deck. And water is all about the emotional realm and what our emotional needs are at this time. And I got the question because it's all about the good mother, father. Where do we, it says you, but where do we, include me in this, need to reparent ourselves and give our inner child unconditional love and acceptance? Where do we need to reparent ourselves and give our inner child unconditional love and acceptance? Does anything want to be shared at this time? I got a really beautiful message about embracing my childlike wonder. So just wanted to share that on the recording. And all right, so we've done earth and water. Hopefully you see something weaving together for yourself as your intentions cohese for the Cancer new moon. Now we move to air. So I pulled the power of intention. And that was the card for the collective. But if you have your own deck and you want to pull your own card, please do. And I got the question, what thoughts do you need to encourage nurturance and growth for yourself? What thoughts do you need to encourage nurturance and growth? And as always, if any question that I ask with an element doesn't resonate for you, you can either ask air for your own inquiry, or you can come up with your own question. This is just intended as a guide. So the power of intentions, and where do you need to have thoughts that are encouraging and nurturing and inspire growth for yourself at this time? Let me know if you have anything you want to share or when you're complete. Thank you, Zandria. Are you doing okay, Mia, or do you need more time, or do you want to share anything?
I'm doing okay. I'm complete.
Okay. We'll keep going, ladies. Thank you so much. All right. So I pulled the move card when we got to fire. And what nurturing actions are needed to allow your creativity to feel at home? Was the question I had this time. What nurturing actions are needed to allow your creativity to feel at home? So what do you need to nurture to let your creativity blossom at this time? Thank you, Zandria, for sharing your process. It really helps. She says ecstatic movement will free creativity to express. Beautiful. Yes, if we can move, it's good to do it as much as we can, and with freedom and joy and ecstasy. Beautiful. Plus, it makes more room if we do ecstatic movement or dance. It makes more room on the inner for our creativity to have room to express. So beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. And now we're moving to spirit. I pulled the desire card from the Elemental Forces of Creation Oracle for the collective. And where do you need to let spirit nurture you? Where do we need to just allow Spirit to hold us, to make us feel safe, to give us nutrition on the inner? There may be specific areas of your life right now where you feel like you need to receive nurturing from Spirit. So you want to take note of that. Right, so hopefully we've put it all together now. Gotten a message from each of the elemental forces. And I'm just going to give you a tiny bit of time to pull it all together in a cohesive message, or set up some intentions for yourself. I did pull the power of intention. So write out what intentions you want to focus on for tomorrow in the actual full moon. We're in the window now. Make note of what you want to focus on now that you've gotten this guidance from the elements. Just give you a couple minutes to do that. Okay, just take one more minute. Okay, hopefully you're finishing up. I'm going to go off screen for just a second. I'm going to grab a tool that I need to do what I'm going to do next. Be right back. Okay, so hopefully you've had a chance to make some notes about your particular Cancer new moon. There is nothing more important right now, ladies, than really working with the energies of nature. So I do hope that you'll take whatever you got and utilize it for your highest good. That's certainly the intent of doing these calls. And I wanted to offer, I do it occasionally, but I wanted to offer today a crystalline consciousness technique energy session. And whether you're here live or listening to the replay, this can support you. And I think Mia wanted to say something about CCT. She asked me if she could. So when you can unmute, sweetheart, I'm here.
Yes, I so badly want to share about CCT. First of all, the first time I tried CCT, I remember telling you, I'm so scared, my heart is beating. And then after like a minute or so, I took a deep breath and I just knew that this energy couldn't harm me. And that night, it was a night after not sleeping for, I think, a week. And that night, I fell asleep and I had this dream, and I remember asking Judy like 2 days later, like, I really want to do this. And then Judy told me that she would have a class, which she talks about in the beginning of the circle, where you are taught how to do it yourself, how to set up your fields, which is a very well thing to do because you protect your energy field. And that class is just amazing. I remember thinking sometimes that the homework didn't make sense, but at the end, everything made sense. And with Judy as a guide, you don't just get a course, you get a person who genuinely cares about you, not because you buy her course, because Judy is not in this for money. She is here to change the world, she's here to lift you up, and she truly cares for you. Like when I did the course, I couldn't pay the whole thing, so I had to have very small installments. But it was still okay with Judy, and it made me feel so safe and so taken care of. So I can recommend it highly enough because CCT changes lives. And before I leave the mic, I just want to tell about one of my clients that I had that had a free session with me when I did it to get certified. She was gonna have a root canal, and she was so nervous. And she calls me after her session, and she tells me that she went to the dentist. She didn't have anesthesia, and the tooth was saved. So that's what CCT can do. So don't miss out. It's a great class, and Judy is the teacher. There are many CCT teachers, but there's only one Judy who will take care of you all the way. Thank you, Judy.
Thank you, Mia. Very, very kind of you. Appreciate that so much. So if you're watching the recording, I think Sandra and Mia have done this with me before, but I just want to make sure you know, I'm going to ask you to help me by putting your hands on certain parts of your body during the session. So at one point in the session, I'm going to ask you to put one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly button. And then in another part of the session, I'm going to have you move one hand above your belly button and one hand below your belly button. And then toward the end of the session, I'm going to ask you to put both hands one atop the other on your belly button. So that way you're helping to move the energy because I'm not with you personally. And so I just want you to know that. And if you're listening to the recording, don't worry, go ahead and do the hand positions. When you hear the recording, you'll still get all the benefit of this session. So I was led to create a session around nurturing ourselves, our families, our communities, and the globe. So it's going to have some intentions that will help to release some of the fear, some of the chaos, some of the uncertainty that is prevalent predominantly in the United States today, and allow for CCT to bring in energy that will help us to guide where we need to go and to feel safe taking our next steps. So those are what are my meta intentions for creating the session today. So whenever we do a CCT session, there's a couple things I want to say. I do something in the beginning, which is a set of words to set up our fields. What that does is it creates a safe container for us to exchange energy. I use the word opening, but I am not opening you up to anything. I am asking your higher self if they want to connect to the crystalline energy field where all the solutions live. So when I use the word opening, that's what I'm doing. And then I'll use sacred geometric chambers, they're called healing chambers, to lift out any chaos in the way of resolving the intentions that we do want, not focusing on what we don't want, but what we do want. Then I'll have a couple of intentions that I'll let move through the session. And then I'll use the word mastery. Mastery allows us to reset so that we can allow for things to shift, change, and fall away that need to, so that we can move forward to a new iteration of self, allowing the energy to shift. So there's times I'm going to be quiet, and that silence is allowing for the energy to move. So I just wanted to offer that explanation of what's going to happen in case you're new and you're watching the recording. That's why there's so much silence in this. But hopefully you'll be able to feel the energy moving and shifting for you. And Mia said it best, but CCT can do no harm. It's only the highest vibration. So if it's not a high vibe thing, then it doesn't interact with it. It just goes neutral. So let's just try this session together. And my intention is for you to feel a little bit more ease, a little bit more flow, and a little bit more love today. So here we go. I ask to place the vibration of opening in your individual crystalline energy field and in our crystalline group field. I ask to place the healing chambers in the appropriate order for you in your individual crystalline energy field and in our crystalline group field for this session. I ask to place the vibration of whatever intentions you have today in your individual crystalline energy field and in our crystalline group field. I ask to place the vibration of the 23 crystal vibrations, the 11 universal needs and mastery in your individual crystalline energy field and in our crystalline group field. I ask to connect to the crystalline grids of the planet. I ask that each of you connect to the crystalline energy field and that we connect to and through the crystalline energy field. Now, if you would, please put one hand on your heart or the center of your chest and one hand on your belly button. I invoke opening. If you would, move your hands one above your belly button and one below. Go ahead and move one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly button. I invoke one multidimensional time healing chamber. Go ahead and move your hands one above your belly button and one below. I ask to anchor in the following intentions as stated. Release the negative geometric configuration of patriarchy, control, grief, replace it with a positive geometric configuration of autonomy, still point, and expression. Mastering Positive Social Change with 5 Vector Equilibrium Healing Chambers. Go ahead and put one hand on your belly button and the other one atop it. I invoke mastery. As it is intended in the new earth energies, so it is. You can relax your hands. I just invite assimilation for each person, whether you're live or listening to the recording. I encourage you to drink lots of water this afternoon or today, or whenever you listen to this. Things are moving and shifting. Things are lifting out. So you will do well to drink lots of water. Go outside and step on the earth if you can. If you can, take a little nap if your body wants to do that. It's just lifting out. So thank you for being with me today. Zandria, if I could just get a thumbs up or okay if you're all right. Okay, good. And Mia, are you doing well?
Yes, I am, Judy. Thank you.
Okay, good. All right, well,
And
dear,
I
dear,
just,
go ahead.
I just, if eh, if anyone buys a session from Judy, I want you to let me know so I can give you a secret bonus gift.
So that you can give what, sweetheart?
A free bonus gift.
Oh, nice. Well, that's very kind of you, Mia. I'll put a note on the YouTube channel, okay?
Good.
All right. Thank you all very much for being with me today. Thank you, dear Wise Transformation community. Please continue to nurture yourself. Keeping yourself strong means that we can continue to move forward, and that's what we need to do. So much love, much support, much appreciation for each and every one of you. Have a great Cancer new moon.
Thank you, Judy.
And really quickly, just want to let you know the next call is the Capricorn full moon, and it'll be Tuesday, July 12th at 1 p.m. Eastern time. So put that on your calendar. Thank you very much.